doing?
Hey, what's going on, Visionaries? It's Tony. It's great. I'm here with Erni Vales. I want to ask him a couple of questions about his artwork here at Art Basel 2014. First thing, Erni, tell me, what made you decide to become an artist?
I didn't decide that. My arm decided that.
Yeah?
I was drawing since I was a little kid. Before I remember drawing before I remember writing my name.
So what made you stick with it? Like, you just fell in love with it from a young age?
No, I was always drawing. I was always like trace comic books. And I always thought I was going to be working for Marvel Comics. And then I found graffiti. And I was like, this is much cooler.
Okay. So what influences your work? Do you have any like one person or any one thing or?
No, it's not. It's like everything in life influences me. Like it was easier back in the day. I could go into a comic book store or a bookstore or a record store and you see influences of art and you see all this stuff. Now like all these bookstores are going away. So like going on the internet is not the same.
Yeah.
I don't get that thrill of satisfaction of finding something. But I'm always looking. It's like a chef. You know, like a chef, you gotta go out there and taste things. You gotta, find new spices, find new tastes, and say, wow, that's good. I'm gonna put this with that other thing that I was making, and that's gonna bring out, all the things.
Yeah.
So I'm the same way. I'm like, I'll have an idea, I'll do a sketch, and I'll put the sketch away for months and months and months, and then one day I'm like, oh, I know, I'm gonna marry these two drawings, and
Okay. So is there any consistent theme that you have, like almost like a, some people they might have like that one running cartoon that defines them as a brand. Is there anything like that for you, or?
Oh yeah, I call myself a one-man group show.
One-man group show, okay.
Because like Picasso had different periods. He had the rose period and the blue period, and his paintings would change. Well, I kind of do them all at the same time.
Okay. All right. So you're every phase.
Yeah, you know what? I like doing what I feel like doing. So sometimes it might be a graffiti piece, sometimes it might be a character, but little by little it starts to work itself out. Like I see myself. I can see the pattern when you look back on your work.
Yeah.
Even you. I mean, any creative person look back on a legacy of work. I've been doing this 34 years. So I can look back and see like where I stumble, and then where it starts to get that good flow. So. Right now, it's graffiti based because that's my foundation, and then it's influenced by pop art, influenced by Miami, like the colors.
So is it your hometown, Miami?
Now it is.
All right, what's your hometown?
New York.
New York, okay.
But to be fair, I grew up in Chinatown. I was born in the Bronx. But the New York I grew up in, that doesn't exist no more.
I got you.
I go back there, I'm like, wow, where is everybody? Everybody's gone. And it's funny, like, I'll walk through New York and I'll be like, man, there used to be a really good club there. There used to be a really old restaurant there.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I wonder what the kids are today going to say when they grow up. They'll be like, yo, I used to get my prescription at that CVS right there. Look, it's still there.
You look at the buildings in there.
Yeah, it's like I feel that they chipped away at the heart of it. They took away, they pushed the artist out. It's, you can't afford it, you gotta go. Because wealthier people would come into neighborhoods, bad neighborhoods, pay a lot of money, and then say, I want it to be quiet outside, and call the cops. And you're like, but it was all that coolness that made you want to come there.
Yeah, exactly.
So you come there and then you want to make like everything else in the country. And now, you go to Times Square, and I'm like, what's the difference between Times Square and any other one? That's true. Like what's the point? So I came down here, in Miami. I went to LA. I went to Chicago. I was in Moscow for a while.
How was that?
Moscow was cold.
Yeah. Like all the time.
But I had a great time in Moscow. I had a friend of mine who brought me out. He was a chef. He had 5 restaurants. He was really popular. So wherever you go, someplace, if you have somebody take you around, you can have a good time. It's always the best times always based on people. So I was lucky. I got in with some really cool people, and I had a really good time in Moscow. Now it's different. It's really bad, politically bad. A lot of weird things going on there. But anyway, that's not why you're here.
Alright, I guess last 2 questions. Is there any long-term goal for your brand? Like, what do you see like 5, 10 years?
I plan not to die in the next 5, 10 years. That's like on top of the list. Don't die.
die.
Yeah. It's funny, like I used to, my high school was on 57, the 2nd Avenue.
Yeah.
There's 5 lanes of rush hour traffic. And the bell would ring and you would run across the street to the bagel shop before the late bell ring.
Yeah.
You get a bagel, you run back, you're like dodging cars. Like everybody, we would all do this. Now you gotta see me, I'm like this. Nah, I ain't going out there. I see a car on the horizon. Because it's funny, I even saw an interview with Dr. Dre, where he was saying back in the day they were like gangsters, they were hardcore. And now it's like, it's kind of like made it through that. Now I want to stay.
Yeah, I like what I have right now.
Yeah, I don't want to get into shoot nobody. But no, I want to keep doing my work. I want to do my work freely. Where my shop here, it's called EVL World. EVL World. EVL is my initials, Erni Vales Limited. And so this shop pays for me to be an artist.
Gotcha.
So now I do a painting, and that painting becomes 10 or 12 pieces of merchandise. Merchandise is affordable to anybody. If you can't afford the painting, you can still afford a print. And I sign all of them. So I wanted to have my work affordable because I thought it was kind of weird. Like when I signed my painting, I can't afford it anymore. It's like that this doesn't make sense to me. That's kind of really ridiculous. So I wanted to have it like, I'm very blue collar minded, I know more poor people than rich people. And they want to be able to have something too. So and those people, they're my bills. So when I go to paint, when I put my brush on the canvas, I'm totally free because I don't have to sell anything. My bills are paid.
Yeah.
So I don't have to say like, wow, everybody's painting in blue. I should do a blue piece.
Yeah.
It'll sell, or maybe it'll sell. I don't have to do that. I can say I get paid in green. Yeah, we've had people come in and say, wow, I'll give you half what you're asking for the painting. And we're like, well, you can give us half, but you're not getting paid. And because I don't have to sell it.
Yeah.
And people think that they're like, the artist is struggling, he's hungry, he needs the money. What does he need the money for? I paint brushes, I paint, I have a studio, and to paint freely. So, I was able to do this merchandise, and that allows me to do it. So what I'm going to be doing hopefully in 5 to 10 years is more work.
And I guess the last question would be, is there anything specifically that, when the time comes that you do die, 30, 40 more years down the road, is there anything that you want to leave behind creatively to inspire the future generation of artists?
I'm already leaving.
Okay.
So when it's time for me to go, they're going to put on my tombstone my last words. Just give me 5 more minutes. I just got to finish up a couple of things. And then I'll go. I'll go.
I'll go quietly.
I'll go just 5 minutes and I'll just go finish that up. Because creative people always have open-ended projects. A really important lesson that I tell younger people: make sure you finish things. Don't leave them open. It's a bad habit to bring into adulthood. As a creative person, you can have a whole bunch of great ideas, but if you don't finish it and follow through, nobody cares.
And that's a lot. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I'm sorry I'm so shy.
That's great. I think there's a lot of good things there. Once again, I'm Tony Segretti of Artistic Visionaries. This is Erni Vales. And check out the interview. All right, guys. Peace.